The new Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Lieutenant General Hermando DCA Iriberri, will deliver his remarks.
His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, the President of the Republic of the Philippines and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, former President Fidel V. Ramos, Honorable Maria Lourdes Sereno, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Honorable Secretary of National Defense, Voltaire T. Gasmin and Mrs. Gasmin, ma'am. Most Reverend Bishop Leopoldo Tumulak, the Military Bishop Ordinate of the Philippines, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the House of Representatives present. I recognize the former Chief of Staff, the Honorable Rodolfo Biazon, the Honorable Francisco Ashley Asedillo, the Honorable Romeo Kimbo, Honorable Senen Sarmiento, my partner in this Army Transformation Roadmap, Honorable Felix William Puentevilla, the former Chief of Staff, Gregorio P.O.P. Katapang Jr., and Mrs. Vilma Katapang and their children, former Executive Secretary Eduardo Ermita, and also former Secretary of National Defense, the former Chiefs of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Alexander Llano, General Senga, General Ibrado, General Esperon, former Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Police Deputy Director General Leonardo A. Espina, the OIC of the Philippine National Police, Vice Admiral Rodolfo I. Surena, the Commandant of the Philippine Coast Guard, key officials from the Department of National Defense, Lieutenant General John S. Bonafos, the Vice Chief of Staff, and Mrs. Bonafos, Major General Ed, the Deputy Chief of Staff, and his wife Erica, the Major Service Commanders, Lieutenant General Delgado of the Philippine Air Force, Vice Admiral Milan, the Flag Officer in Command of the Philippine Navy, Unified Commanders, members of the Joint Personnel and Special Staff, and commanders of the AFP Wide Support and Separate Units, other General Flag Officers and their ladies, other senior officer present, other enlisted personnel headed by the Command Sergeant Major, First Chief Master Sergeant Francisco, our Chief Civilian Supervisor of the Armed Forces, Ms. Merlin Mondero, members of the Foreign Armed Forces Attaché, my wife, Agnes, and my children, Ana Katrina, Patricia Grace, Hernando Gabriel, and Canico Rafael. Kindly rise to be recognized, including my wife. May I also recognize my siblings. Kindly rise to be recognized. My brothers and sisters. My in-laws, Colonel and Mrs. Samson, and the members of his class of the PMA, Class 57. Kindly rise also. the Aresa clan from Surigao del Sur, kindly rise. Our friends from the Multi-Sector Governance Council, headed by the former Secretary Stanislao, other government officials present, fellow soldiers, both active and retired, friends of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Before I proceed with my speech, let me read a personal letter to our soldiers as a way of thanking them for their service. My dear soldiers, I could not answer the call of duty to be the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines without laying down my immense gratitude and deep appreciation for the untiring, selfless dedication that has become the hallmark of the Filipino soldier. Through the years, as an officer on the field and in the front lines, and in the last 17 months as Commanding General of the Philippine Army, I have been humbled by your sacrifice and commitment. You take on the wind and the rain, the sun and the heat, without complaint or respite, as you go about your perilous duty. You leave your family for days, even months on end, to secure the families in your assigned area of operation. You face threats and foes, be that the barrel of the gun or the wrath of a super typhoon, so that communities need not know fear nor worry. You are teacher, builder, engineer, farmer, forester, protector, defender, and most of all, a soldier. Some of us have given the ultimate sacrifice, and we remember them every day, not only for the bravery, but for their humanity. And the rest of us take heart and gain strength from their courage and patriotism. We are better because of their sacrifice. We are stronger for their service. I have asked you often enough, as I visited your camp in the mountains or checked your newly assigned quarters, what you need to do a better job, or what else your family needs. And most of the time, you answer with a smile and say, okay na po ako, sir. Basta may naiabot sa misis. Basta meron para sa mga bata. Simple hopes indeed. And it has been my priority to fulfill those hopes and meet those basic needs. I write this letter of thanks to you, my dear soldiers, because it has not been often enough. It has not been shown nearly enough. I write to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing a good job, and to say forward march and fight on. Win the peace. Secure the future. Your brother in service, Dodo Iriberri. In the name, therefore, of every Filipino soldier, I answer the call of duty to serve and the challenge to lead the armed forces of the Philippines. I would like to express my utmost gratitude, first and foremost, to our Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, for his trust in my competence to lead and command the entire armed forces of the Philippines. Mahal na Pangulo, makakaasa po kayo na pag-iingatan ko ang tiwala na binigay niyo sa akin bilang pinuno ng sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas. The Secretary of National Defense, the Honorable Voltaire T. Gasmin, for his vote of confidence and fine example of leadership. And the outgoing Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Gregorio P. Catapang Jr., and other members of the Board of Generals for their recommendation. To my wife, Agnes, my children, and the rest of my siblings, your support has been key to my success, and my appreciation for your unconditional love and understanding knows no bounds. My heartfelt gratitude to my late parents for molding me into the person I am today. I thank the Lord Almighty for His blessings, guidance, and protection, all of which are the reasons why I am standing here before you today. To everyone else here who is celebrating this milestone with us, good morning to you all, and thank you for honoring the Armed Forces of the Philippines with your presence. Today, I am given the greatest responsibility in my military career, and with all humility and steadfastness, I accept this charge to serve our nation by leading the Armed Forces of the Philippines. I follow a long and illustrious line of leaders, visionaries, and warriors. The task at hand indeed has been made manageable, and the goals made more achievable. The realities of our time, however, define 5 priorities we must address. First, the matter of winning the peace. In the last 7 years, 58 conflict-affected provinces have been declared as either as insurgency-free or peaceful and ready for future development or further development. In December 2008, to Negros Occidental just June 2015, peace has been won by the cooperation, collaboration, and combined strength of the armed forces of the Philippines and our civilian partners and stakeholders. By year-end 2015, more provinces are expected to join this number. And by the end of 2016, the goal is for peace to reign in all the provinces in our country. We have pledged to win the peace, and we hope, and we have done so with the utmost discipline, determination, and dedication. But we have learned also that winning the peace is not the end, but only the beginning of another chapter in our internal security operations. And so today, as the Armed Forces of the Philippines offers up its record of winning the peace, we make a new pledge. We will not only win the peace, but we will secure the peace as well. By this pledge, we declare the Armed Forces of the Philippines unrelenting pursuit to meet its peace and development goals, even as we address other national concerns and challenges. Second, the urgency of transforming as we perform. Our Commander-in-Chief has laid the groundwork for the Armed Forces forward march, and as good soldiers, we will follow the path that is straight and true. Hence, we shall continue to be staunch advocates of transformation and relentlessly implement the IPSP Bayanihan. We will sustain the push for peace and spread the seeds of transformation within our ranks. Towards this end, the AFP transformation roadmap with commitment, with continuity, with consistency, with focus. I call on every officer, enlisted personnel, and civilian employee of the Armed Forces of the Philippines to aggressively work for the achievement of the transformation roadmap strategic goals. We will stay committed to continuing the programs that have shaped who we are today. We will stay committed to being consistent in performing our duties. We will stay committed to focusing on the goals we have set for our future and the tasks at hand that face us in the present. Third, to implement national policy. We, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, shall implement or execute national policies to the best of our ability. That is our duty, and we will continue to do so with all our hearts and with all our might. Thus, in confronting the many and varied issues and security challenges that come our way, we must ensure that our actions are aligned with such national policies. Fourth is our preparation for the forthcoming 2016 elections. In the conduct of our current security operations, we do not lose sight on starting as early as now to pave the way for a peaceful and credible 2016 national elections. It is noteworthy that together with the Philippine National Police, we have achieved the unthinkable in the province of Abra last 2013 elections. That of having a peaceful elections that the Abreños had. This, ladies and gentlemen, shall serve as our yardstick for success in performing our duties in the 2016 elections. The need to upgrade capabilities. It is clear that for the Armed Forces of the Philippines to perform effectively in fulfilling its mandate, we must sustain the moves to upgrade our capabilities, from systems to material to manpower. Between and among our major services, improvements in joint and combined operational capabilities and readiness must be fast-tracked to upgrade our capacity to resolve crises and respond to natural or man-made calamities. Our collaboration with local partners and foreign allies in the conduct of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief must be enhanced through the establishment of the most efficient and effective means and methods. At this juncture, may I take this opportunity to thank our Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, for his all-out support to the modernization program of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Sa tagal ng panahon, ngayon lang uli nakahawak at nakagamit ang inyong kasundaluhan ng mga bagong kagamitang pangdigma. Kaya dapat lamang nasuklian namin at serbisyong walang katulad ang ating bayan. Marami pong salamat, mahal na Pangulo. To the men and women of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, let this message be a reminder that as we fulfill our duty as peacekeepers and progress builders, we will be vigorous, vigilant, valiant. Vigorous in doing our job as teachers, builders, rescuers, and other non-traditional duty roles in helping uplift the quality of life of our less fortunate countrymen. Vigilant in our sworn duty to protect our people and their communities. Valiant in applying the might and means against all threats to our national security. Today, the torch of leadership of your armed forces has been lit and passed. As I take on this challenge to command and lead the armed forces of the Philippines, I fervently implore the Almighty's continuing guidance for our gallant soldiers, airmen, sailors, and Marines to be our people's genuine partner in building a stronger, peaceful, and better Philippines. Mga mahal kong kababayan, Buong pagpapakumbaba ko pong tinatanggap ang hamon. At buong puso ko pong gagampanan ang aking katungkulan. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataong maglingkod sa ating bayan bilang isang kawal. When I was a cadet, this was the way I said I would define myself as a soldier and officer. I only have one principle of leadership. To be a good leader, one must know how to understand people and the situation. To our countrymen, I am all yours. These words captured in our yearbook, the sword of the PMA Matikas class of 1983, are as true then as they are now. 32 years later, here I am standing before you as the 46th Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and making this vow. To my countrymen, I am all yours to lead and command your armed forces. I am all yours in service. Mabuhay ang Kawal Pilipino, mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Thank you very much to Lieutenant General Iriberri, sir.